Of March, Howland Gale.
Yeah, there. It's pretty full on. I don't know what's here. It's knots, consistent probably.
We've put an extra line on this side of the boat to stop it from rolling as much. She rolled over at one point and smashed against the wharf, rolled and bashed here, and you can see there's a crack along there. I'm going to have to fix that. The needle over there is showing quite clearly that there's still quite a lot of wind. Great big orange needle, and obviously it bends over in the wind and gives you an idea of how strong the wind is or not. Botanical Garden.
There's tales and the wails of fears on cars. Well, I found myself unsure, though the tide will turn when all have come to learn. Only then.
Cicadas loud too. What have we got there, Emma?
And I shall not hide from you with flippant tales of woe. I won't know the path to follow as comes each fork in the road. But I tread so slow in fear, a rebellious earth below. Come trust, return my spirit to grow. When love finds my heart true, I shall not hide from you. But I teach you be strong. Shed no tears for me.
It's hilarious. Wellington describes himself as the world headquarters of the verb. I love it.
Love finds my heart true, so I shall not hide from you. And love finds my heart true, so I shall not hide from you. Take care, my dear.
Just testing out the new camera.
Just doing the dishes.
You're doing the dishes? Thanks, Bella.
Sweet destiny.
After making this delicious dinner, she's doing the dishes. Where are we off to, Emma?
Mount Victoria
Mount Victoria.
on the Southern Walkway, which traverses the hills behind Wellington.
We're on this, what we call the Southern Walkway. It goes through a green belt all around through behind Wellington, through lots of suburbs around the city. There's walking trails, shared walking trails, and then there's heaps of bike trails as well. So we've got all these mountain bike trails. It's beautiful views. Nice forest. Got a fountain coming out of your head. There we go. We are again at Elspeth and Lionel's for dinner. Elspeth, you were born in Tasmania, correct? And you're now in Wellington, in New Zealand, this lovely city. What drew you to this place?
A job. I did all my study in theatre, but theatre jobs are very rare, so I took a job in communication, and then after 10 years of that I got back into teaching theatre. So same university, but I'm in my own field now, which I love.
So Wellington's looked after you.
It has, yes, yes. When I first moved, it was a bit of a shock. It is indeed windy Wellington, and I remember very clearly my first week walking up a street where there was a gap between two tall buildings, stepping out from the one tall building and almost being knocked off my feet by the wind. But when I'd been here about 5 years, a woman said to me, pretend you're riding a horse, and this is the breeze flowing through your hair of riding a horse. It's a very, very fast horse, but it kind of worked to flip it around and see the windiness as something refreshing, and the streets are always clean.
Yeah. What do you love about Wellington?
There's a lot of theatre and art and music. There are galleries everywhere, and a lot of them are free. One of the things that I love about New Zealand, bigger than Wellington, is the treaty. So coming from Australia, where there's no treaty, I came here, and one of the first things I learned about through an induction process at my work was Te Tiriti o Waitangi, and what it means and how it gives recognition to the Indigenous Māori people of New Zealand, and it means everyone else is a visitor, and we have to respect and fulfill the responsibilities of being a visitor. But it also means you're not illegitimate the way you are in Australia. Like in Australia, I knew that I was an invader. I wasn't legitimately in that country. I didn't have any right to be there. But now I'm tangata te tiriti, which means a person of the treaty. So I'm one of the two parties to the treaty. And so there's a negotiated process by which I have responsibilities, but I'm able to be here if I take those responsibilities seriously. And so
What brought you to Wellington?
Well, yeah, it is different, but perhaps it's the same. So I was fascinated that people wanted to learn Spanish over here, wanted to learn about Lorca and about La Luna and about all these places that I grew up with, all this mythology that I grew up with. And I found that coming here, that we share some of those places. We share the same Luna, the same moon. We share the same mythology. And it's kind of magical in a way that I'm here so far away from America, from Latin America, and so far away from my language, from Spanish. But people were interested in that. so I've been here for a very long time. I came to New Zealand without knowing much about the country. I knew that there was a Maori character in Moby Dick, for instance. I knew that there's a wonderful movie, The Piano. I knew that there was a song that talks about the Crowded House song that many people know from the 80s.
Which one?
Don't Dream Is
recall?
Sober, or The Dream Is Sober. That's what it's called? The Dream Is Sober. Which I used to listen to in the 80s in Latin America. So I spent the first 17 years in a place, in a region called Manawatu. And that was perhaps the first Maori word that I learned, Manawa, which means heart. In that place too, where you stay is where your heart stays.
Now, also, I know you have a book of poems. I found one. This is driving with Neruda. Now, I'm a bit of a ignorant man about poetry, but tell us about why driving with Neruda.
Well, the book came out of the experience of living in that place called Manawatu, and the idea of finding so many commonalities between my life here in New Zealand and also my life in Latin America, growing up over there. Many things that we share. For instance, here in New Zealand, we wouldn't have fish and chips without potatoes from the Andes. Or we wouldn't have avocados, chocolate, and corn, pumpkins, kumara or sweet potato. The New Zealand diet will be completely different without Latin America. So it was finding home in a way here, but in a different way. No?
Well, muchas gracias. Be ready to run for the bus. Have we not had a wonderful night?
We've had a lovely evening. Very, very lovely.
I'm going to miss seeing you.
Yeah.
It's been great, hey? This is whole 45 metres of rope. Not on rope. We didn't have a shoreline, necessarily special shoreline at all. A couple of times we could have possibly used it, but also this stuff's going to be useful regardless. It's a throwaway product from research boats, and they can only use it once apparently, and then they get rid of it for some weird reason. So there's a guy that just takes it away, cuts it up into shorter links and set it off, so $50 we got ourselves a piece of 45 metres of rope. What are we up to today, Emma?
We are going to one of the Lord of the Rings locations.
I believe we are in the Hobbit's Hideaway. Approximately Lord of the Rings. Somewhere around.
Leave, sweet destiny be.
Not all those who wander are lost. How do you feel about that, Emma? Are we lost?
No.
Certainly not. We're more found than lost, are we not?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're just getting some Brazil nuts.
Got some Brazil nuts.
From this great store we came into yesterday, which is called, what's it called, Oscar?
We're Common Sense Organics in Kilburnie.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Kilburnie, which is in Wellington. And I want to ask you, Oscar, what do you love about Wellington?
What do we love about Wellington? There's many things. Every direction you go, there's always something going on. Lots of colourful, vibrant people from all walks of life. I came from further up the North Island and moved to Wellington very intentionally, like seeking that. Yeah.
Where did you come from?
From Tauranga originally. If you like lots of people and music, you're in the right place in Wellington.
Awesome.
Yeah. Some
Active Wellington.
Absolutely.
We
yeah.
read somewhere it was the city of the verb.
Yes.
You concur.
I concur, absolutely. City of the wind as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I better pay you for the Brazil nuts now.
I won't stop you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'm on
You'll
YouTube.
be in there.
You're on YouTube.
You will, but... So, I'm just stowing our soy milk, some of it. We just bought 24 cartons. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to put some glue into it.
I've got some epoxy tubs on board. It's part of my survival toolkit for a wooden boat. So I'm just going to fill up those bits where it's easy to fill, and these ones, I think that's as far as it's going to chip out, and I'll just put a smear over that to try and keep the moisture out of it till I can fix it properly. I've had a great time in Wellington, but tonight we leave at about 8 p.m. So last load of washing before we go. We make use of everything we can do on land while we're here. I'm just in the office with Tess, who's been absolutely fantastic. Tess is Evans Bay Marina in Wellington. I wanted to ask you a question, Tess. What do you love about Wellington?
Oh, that's a good question, that one. I'm not going to lie, I love just being by the water, and it's the whole Wellington region is surrounded by water, so this is my happy place.
Did you spend a fair bit of time overseas working in boats?
Yes, I did. So I spent all up, I think it was 6 years working on the super yachts.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you came to Wellington, you're from Wellington originally?
Not from Wellington originally, grew up in Tauranga, which is also surrounded by water.
We'll probably go there.
Yes, you need to. It's a beautiful,
plenty, yeah?
Yes, beautiful place.
It's on the list. Fantastic. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is our washing line. Emma's out hanging them out. I'm just about to make some muesli. So we've just been filling the water tanks. We've got this one here. We've got to lift the whole bed stuff up for that. And one down here, which is also fed by our little water maker. When we're at sea and we can't get fresh water, but it's always one of those things you do last thing before we go, top up the tanks. So Rico, I've just met you in the car park at the marina. What's the thing you love most about Wellington? Can you put your finger on that?
I think I've been fooled a little bit by the Wellington weather in that summer. So the summer of 2018 was amazing. There was no wind at all. It was so sunny, and we stayed here only for 1 day.
Yeah.
And we visited the Museum of New Zealand.
Ah, yes.
And we just travel around with the harbour, and we found that those properties look so beautiful. And the society that you can feel with the people who talk to you with a very, very good culture that we think is such a beautiful place.
Thank you for that. So, hey, what do you love about Wellington?
Wellington's a cool city. There's heaps of stuff to do. It's really good for sailing. It's pretty, it's always windy.
It's wind.
Yeah, it's pretty next level. It's hard to get out of, so you always get trapped here when you want to leave. And I was born here, so yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
You're a native.
When you go somewhere else, you're like, well, what's different? And there's no wind basically everywhere. I've just been in Antarctica for 6 months, and I think the weather might have been better down there, but definitely a little bit colder. And yeah.
We'll see you there.
Right. Catch you later.
Stay calm. Getting ready.
Getting ready.
The window's opening tonight.
Tonight, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. You got a sailboat or a?
Yeah, I'm on PSV.
What do you love about Wellington? I'm filming you, by the way.
Cuba Street.
Cuba Street! I love Cuba Street too. It's got a music shop on it, among other things.
Are you heading to where's your final destination?
On this trip we're just doing Napier, and then we're going to keep going up north. And so it's about half an hour till we've got to get ourselves off this dock, and Windy Wellington is trying to trick us. So, no, just stay. It's beautiful here. It's really quiet. It's still. It's not much wind. Look at that. It's like a lake. Placid. Not a spot of breeze. Emma's made a delicious dal. Thank you, Dal.
Welcome, Dal.
And she's dressed up in her special I Can See You When You Fall Overboard shirt. I'm excited for the next chapter. Off to Napier, rounding 2 or 3 more treacherous capes. I love how everywhere's treacherous around New Zealand.
everywhere.
Well, it can be.
Beautiful, still, calm. Left on 20:30 on the dot, 8:30 p.m. Thanks for having us, Wellington. We love you. 20 to 1. I'm on watch. Emma's gone down for about 4 hours sleep, so give her 4 hours. She'll come home at about 3. We're having this awesome sail. Got a beam reach pretty much doing about 7 knots most of the time, and got a bit of tide with us, about 1 to 1.5 knots of tide with us, which is great. Thanks to the advice guys, the Wellington sailors, just out with that, figure out how to do that through the Cook Strait. And yeah, making good ground toward Cape Palisades, and we'll be around there before the daylight comes for sure. And looks good for the wind predictions for a pretty good dream run, so fingers crossed that all stays, and we'll get around there.
The sun's just starting to come up on my watch. It's been an amazing starry night.
Through mother's tales and the wails of
I think I have morning dolphins.
well, I found myself unsure.
Morning dolphins.
When all have come to learn, only then will be cast ashore. And if love finds my heart true,
Such a beautiful morning. Dolphins, sunrise.
with flippant tales of woe, I won't know the path to follow, as comes each fork in the road.
Emma's on watch. Doing a great job.
Wind's gone from 25 knot gusts to 11.
When love finds my heart true, I shall not hide from you. But I teach you be strong, shed no tears for me, for in the end,
So just like that, in came the southerly. We got 25 knots breeze. Probably put a second reef in that main, doing nice speeds, about 7.5 to 8 knots. Good job, Emma. Now I have to wake up.
La luna vino a la fragua con su polizón de nardos. El niño la mira, el niño la está mirando. En el aire sorprendido la luna mueve sus brazos y enseña, lúbrica y pura, sus senos de oro estaño. Huye luna, 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 si vinieran los gitanos, harían con tu corazón collares y anillos blancos. Huye luna, 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 que ya siento sus caballos.
now take care, my dears, on the fare you proffer, and leave sweet destiny